Okay, today we're going to review the different types of angles that are created by parallel lines cut by a transversal line. So obviously you know that line L right here and line M right here are the parallel lines, and then line N here that goes through both of them is called the transversal line. So first let's talk about the interior angles. Remember we said that interior, this word right here, means inside. So it has to be inside these two parallel lines. So you've got 3 here, 4, 5, and 6. All of those angles there are interior angles because they are inside. They're in between these two parallel lines. See, if you draw the two lines connecting, they're inside the house. Okay? Then you've got your exterior angles, and exterior, that word there, means outside. Outside the house. So all of your angles that you have left here that are outside, that you can't connect the lines, you've got 1, 2, 7, and 8. Those are exterior angles. They're outside the parallel lines. Okay? Okay, now we're talking about the alternate angles. So you've got alternate interior. Well, first of all, this word interior tells you that they have to be inside. And then this word alternate means that they have to be on opposite sides of the transversal. Opposite sides of transversal. Okay, so here's your transversal line. Let's just highlight that real quick. Here's your transversal line right here. Okay, and then let's highlight our parallel lines so you know that those are parallel. So we've got that one that's parallel and that one that's parallel. So our alternate interior tells us that it has to be inside and they have to be on opposite sides of the transversal. So I've got angle 4 here and 5 here. They're on different sides of this transversal line, but they're still both inside the parallel lines. So you've got angle 4 and 5 that are alternate interior. You also have 3 here and 6 here. They're on opposite sides of this transversal line right here, and they're both inside the parallel lines. So 3 and 6 are a pair of alternate interior angles. Then you've got alternate exterior. That word right there tells you that they have to be outside the parallel lines. And then this word right here tells you that they have to be on opposite sides of the transversal, just the same as the interior, alternate interior angles, except these are outside. So here we've got our outside, we've got 1 and 2 here and 7 and 8 here, but this alternate piece right here, that tells us they have to be on opposite sides of this transversal line. So I've got 1 over here, and my alternate one is down here. It's going to be 8. Okay, so that's 1 and 8. And then my other pair is going to be right here. I've got 2 here and 7 here. They're on opposite sides there. Okay? Okay, let's talk about corresponding angles. Now, these are the ones that are in the same position. So if we go ahead and highlight our transversal lines, we'll do one in green, and we'll do the other in pink, because I like pink. And basically what this is saying is that you've got this line here that's separate from this line, and you're looking for the ones that are in the same position. So here I've got this group on this parallel line, And then I've got this group on this parallel line. It's almost like they're in two different classrooms. Same hallway, two different classrooms. And we want people to sit in the same spot. So if we've got Mark over here, and he's sitting in this seat over here in this classroom, then he needs to sit in the same seat in the other classroom. So I go down to this other classroom here, and he needs to sit in that same seat there. So 1 and 5, those two seats, those are the same seats in different classrooms, which makes them corresponding. And then let's say that Zach is sitting in this seat here, and he goes to this other classroom over here, and he needs to sit in the same seat, so he's going to sit in seat 6, because these two seats are in the same place, they're just different classrooms. So that's that pair. And then let's say that Makai is sitting in this seat right here, in this classroom, and then he goes to this other classroom, he wants to sit in the same exact seat, so he's going to sit in this seat right here. They're the same. Okay? And then let's say that Shanna sits in this seat, in this classroom. It's the bottom on the right-hand side. She's going to want to sit in the same bottom right-hand seat in this classroom too. So that makes these two a corresponding pair also. Okay? Let's talk about our vertical angles. Remember, these are the ones that look at each other. So this guy here, he's going to look at this one here. And check this out, people. They make V's. So you've got one V there. And then you've got this other V right here. They look at each other like that. So this one and this one, they look at each other, okay? So you've got angle 2 and angle 3 that are looking at each other. And then we've got these two right here, angle 1, because you've got one V right here. And you've got angle 4, you've got another V right here. These are a little bit fatter V's, but that's okay. I just like to eat a little more. So you've got angle 1 and angle 4 are vertical pairs. And then you've got angle 5 right here is looking at angle 8 right here. And those two are pairs. And then you have angle 6 right here and angle 7. And they are looking at each other and they form the V's. Angle 6 and angle 7, those are vertical pairs. Okay, let's talk about the supplementary ones. Supplementary means that they form a straight line. So anywhere you see a straight line, you've got a supplementary pair. So I've got a straight line right here, which means that I've got these two that can be supplementary. Remember, supplementary means that they equal 180 degrees, straight line. You're looking for those straight lines. Straight lines always, S, S, straight lines. So angle 1 and angle 3 form a straight line there. And then you've got angle 2 and angle 4 that are on that same straight line. So angle 2 and angle 4. Then check this out. You've got a straight line, whoops, right here. Straight line right there. So you've got these two pairs, angle 1 and angle 2, that form a straight line there. And then you've got angle 3 and angle 4 that form that same straight line down there. Okay? So anytime you've got those four groups there, you've got two straight lines. You've got one that goes that way and one that goes that way. So you can form four pairs. So let's go ahead and do this bottom one here. I've got a straight line here, and I've got a straight line here. Not very good at drawing straight lines. Okay. So I've got my 5 and 7 pair there, my 8 and 6 pair there. So 5 and 7 and 6 and 8 that form that line that goes up and down. And then I've got this line that goes sideways. So I've got angles 5 and 6 there. And I've got angles 7 and 8 here. Okay? Looking for that straight line. Always a straight line. Okay. This is going to be our practice, people. We are going to list all of the alternate interiors. So I'm going to give you a minute to go ahead and do that. And if you need to pause, you should pause. Okay, so let's talk about these alternate interiors. We're looking for the pairs. So our alternate interiors are the ones that are in the inside here. And remember, they have to be on the opposite side of this. So we've got 4 and 5 here. And then you've got 6 on this side and 3 on that side. And those are our pairs. Okay, take a minute and work on the alternate exteriors. Pause if you need to. Okay, now for the alternate exteriors, I've got this group here, and that's supposed to be a 2. And I've got this group here, those are alternate, and that should be a 7. So I've got my group here and my group here, except they have to be on opposite sides of this. So I've got 1 and 8, angle 1 and angle 8. And then I've got angle 2 and angle 7. Angle 2, angle 7. Okay. I'll give you a minute to go ahead and do the verticals. And if you need to pause, then you should go ahead and pause. Okay, remember I'm looking for the V's. So I've got a V here and a V here. I've got these V's that are looking at each other. I've got these V's that are looking at each other. And I've got these V's that are looking at each other. Always looking for those ones that are looking at each other. So I've got angle 1, angle 4. I've got angle 2 and angle 3. I have angle 5 and angle 8 that are looking at each other. And I have angle 6 and angle 7 that are looking at each other. Okay, I'm going to give you a minute. Go ahead and work on the supplementary ones. Pause if you need to. Okay, remember we're looking for the straight lines. So I have a straight line here. And I have a straight line here. So I'm looking for the ones that are on that straight line. So if I were to do that red line first, I'd have these two right here on the top that form a straight line on the top. So that's angle 1 and angle 2 together. And then these two that are underneath it that form the straight line on the bottom, that's angle 3 and angle 4. Okay, and then I've got this one here, the green one that goes sideways. And on the top of that green line, I've got 2 and 4 together that form a straight line. And then on the bottom of that green line, I've got 1 and 3 together that form the bottom of that straight line. Okay, and if I were to write my straight lines here, I've got this one going sideways, the pink one. And then I've got my blue one that goes up and down. And that blue never seems to want to work. Okay, so if I were to do the blue line first, on the left side I've got the 5 and 6 that make up that straight line on the left. So angle 5 and angle 6. And then on the right side, right here, that make the right side of that line, I've got angle 7 and angle 8. And then if I go to my pink line, I've got my pink line going sideways, and I've got 6 and 8 on the top of that line. So angle 6 and angle 8. And then on the bottom of that line, I've got 5 and 7 that form the bottom of it. So angle 5 and angle 7. And I'll give you a minute to go ahead and work on the correspondings. Remember, those are the ones that are in different classrooms but want to sit in the same seat. Pause if you need to. Okay, so we're going to make our two little classrooms here for our correspondings. C for corresponding, C for classrooms. That helps you remember. So I've got one classroom there, and I've got the other classroom right here. And then I've got this guy here, that he's sitting at the top of the box on the left-hand side. And this guy right here that's sitting in the top on the left-hand side. So I've got angle 2 and angle 6 that are a pair. And then I've got this one here. He's sitting in the back of the classroom on the right-hand side. And then I've got this guy here. He's sitting in the same seat in the other classroom. He's in the back, and he's on the right-hand side. So I have angle 3 and angle 7 that are in the same place. And then I've got this one who's also in the back, but he's on the left-hand side. And this guy here who's also in the back on the left-hand side, and they are in the same seats in different classrooms. So I've got angle 1 and angle 5 that are corresponding. And then last but not least, I've got my other front seater. This one that sits in the front seat in the right side, and I've got this one, I'm sorry, the left side, the right side of the parallel line. I've got this guy that sits in the top right. I've also got this guy that sits in the top right, and they're sitting in the same exact seat in different classrooms. So I've got angle 4 and angle 8 that are a pair. Okay, I hope this helped you to review the different types of angles. And if you have any further questions, you should see me for a help session in the morning. Have a great day.